the today I will discuss about the phase contrast microscope. Before going to the phase contrast microscope, I would like to say that ordinary microscope, the object is viewed due to the difference in color intensity of the specimen. So you can see here, this is a histological specimen. Here, this specimen can be visualized due to the difference in color intensity. Here the color intensity is developed due to the use of two different types of dyes, that is, one is eosin and which takes the magenta color, and another is hematoxylin which takes the blue color. So this difference in color helps to visualize the histological specimen. So in bright field microscopy we have to use two different types of dyes. Like that, if we see a specimen before staining it, so it cannot be visualized properly, or its component cannot be visualized properly. But when it is stained with different types of dyes to create a contrast in between the background of the tissue or background of the cells, it creates a clear image so that it can be visualized with the help of light microscopy. So to create the color intensities, the specimen is first stained with visible stain dyes, which will help in to develop in specific color and which can be visualized under light microscope, ordinary light microscope. So what actually happens? This contrast is obtained due to the when the light rays passes through a stain specimen, because the different stain absorbs the different amount of light. So different stain, they absorb different amount of light, and that's why the difference is observed here and it can be visualized. So this differential absorption property of the stained specimen modify the intensity or amplitude of the light waves transmitted by different regions of the cell, and this is ultimately responsible for creating a contrast in the image. So thus staining is essential to create a contrast in ordinary light microscope. Moreover, unstained specimen cannot be observed through ordinary light microscope. So there are different studies where the living cell can be visualized with the help of this phase contrast microscope. This phase contrast microscope was first invented by a Dutch physicist, Fritz Zernike, in 1934, and he received the Nobel Prize in Physics for his invention in the year of 1953. So this phase contrast microscope, it can be formed, or it can be created by using slight modifications in the normal light microscope. So what actually phase contrast microscope do? So a small changes in the phases of the light rays that is induced by different thickness and refractive index of the different parts of an object, and can be transformed into difference in brightness or light intensity, and that can be amplified with the help of two different structures, which can be finally visualized by the human eye. But this refractive difference in the refractive index cannot be visualized in the normal eye, but that are after amplification with the help of two different types of attachment in this phase contrast microscope, it can be visualized properly. So in simple term, phase contrast microscopy is the translation of invisible phase shift into visible difference of intensities. So it helps in the visible difference of intensity. So you can see this picture. Here you can find that this is a specimen which is visualized under normal bright field microscope, and when it is seen under the phase contrast microscope, it creates a image which is having a greater contrast so that it can be visualized properly. And so this is the image of the phase contrast microscope. So in phase contrast microscope, it is similar to an ordinary compound microscope in its optical composition, and it is having the light source. It is having the condenser system, objective lens system, and ocular lens system. So these are the common features of the any bright field microscope. So In addition to these, there are two another structures, that is a substage annular diaphragm and phase plate. So these two structures are responsible for generation of the phase contrast of the image in the phase contrast microscope. So with the help of these two additional structure, the phase contrast microscope can be involved. So this is a diagrammatic representation of the light pathway in the phase contrast microscope. Here you can find that this is the source of light. Then you are having a condenser lens. In between the light and condenser lens, there is a annular diaphragm. So this is the another part. This is one part of the phase contrast microscope. Then again the light passes through the specimen as like at bright field microscope, and then it passes through the objective as like the bright field microscope, and finally it passes through a phase plate. So these phase plate, this annular diaphragm and phase plate, they are responsible for generation of the images in the phase contrast microscope. So this is a picture of a phase contrast microscope. Here you can find a phase plate which is present in the objective, rear portion of the objective, and annular condenser which is present at the position of the condenser. So this is the difference in between the light microscope and phase contrast microscope. And these microscopes are generally having the binocular for binocular vision, and so binocular attachment is there, and this is a digital camera is attached here for visualization also. Visualization as well as with the help of a computer, as well as to taking the picture of that image formed. So this is the light pathway, whatever I have described in earlier slide also. So this is the substage annular diaphragm. So what here you can find, this is a condenser lens, and here different annular diaphragms are there. These diaphragms actually they separates the light. They helps to create a narrow hollow cone of light of or the ring of lights to illuminate the object. And so this is the image of the light pathway. So you can find here, this is the light source. Light is coming through the condenser. Then when it is passing through the annular diaphragm, it creates a hollow cone of light. So this the function of the annular diaphragm is to create a hollow cone of light. You can find here that hollow cone of light has been created, and then again it passes to the specimen and subsequently via the objective lens. So this is the lens of the objective, and this is the condenser, phase condenser. That means this one. It is placed here, and this is the phase objective. Here the phase plate is located within this phase objective. So these are the optical components. This is nothing but the modified picture of the previous one. So here the condenser, this is the annular, here the annular plates are located. So annular plates can be of different types. Here the 7 position turret are present. These are the objective, phase contrast objective, which is containing the phase plate. So these condenser annulars, or they can be placed here. So this is the diagram of the phase plate. So phase plate in the rear portion or rear focal plane, they are having a phase plate. In case of phase contrast microscope, this phase plate is containing of the particular structure, a portion which is coated with the light retarding material, and this portion also, and in the middle of that the portion which is devoid of light retarding material. So it is responsible for creating the hollow or narrow band of light. And the transparent portion is made up of, this portion is made up of the glass. Okay, and in these regions the retarding materials are like magnesium fluorides are used as light retarding material. So these are types of different types of phase contrast plate. So phase contrast plate is also having, phase plates are also having two types. One is of negative type and another of is positive type. So this is the image of the positive type phase plate and this is the image of the negative type phase plate. You can find here the phase retarding material is present here in case of negative phase plate, and these are the glass. Okay, and in this case these are the glass, and here it is the phase retarding material. Here there is a phase retarding material, and in between them the partially absorbing material is there. So this is the positive phase plate and this is negative phase plate. So this slide shows the image of the different types of phase plates, image created by different types of phase plate. If it is a positive phase plate, this image is created like this. If it is having negative phase plate, the image is being created like this. You can find here the phase contrast image of the human erythrocyte. When the positive plates are used, phase plates are used, the image looks like this. When the negative phase plates are used, the image looks like this. So if you use the different types of phase plates, so different types of image will be formed. So how the contrast is created in the phase contrast microscope? So light when passing through the phase plate, light when passing through the images, so it might pass through the different regions which are having high refractive index or it is having low refractive index. So when it is passing through the high refractive index, then the light deviates from its normal path, and then what actually happens? The changes in the phase occur. But when the light is passing through the low refractive index or low refractive index regions of the tissue, the light deviation remains unaltered, or that means light remains undeviated. So no phase changes are found. So these two regions creates a difference in phase. So difference in phase between the retarded and unretarded light is about 1/4 of the original wavelength of the light. But it is very interesting that these small change cannot be visualized with the help of normal human eye. So what it can be amplified by with the help of the annular diaphragm and phase plate. So these two structure actually amplifies these differences and so that the contrast difference can be easily visualized with the help of the eye. So what are the application of the phase contrast microscope? It enables the visualization of the living cell. Living cell can be visualized without affecting their normal activities. It enables the visualization of the unstained cell. No staining is required. It can be used to view the various cell organelles. It helps to study the cellular events such as cell division, phagocytosis, etc. That means the cellular process remains unaltered, but you can visualize it under the microscope. So without affecting the cellular process, you can visualize the cells, and you are also not using the stains. That's why the cells remains alive. It enables to study the cytoskeleton dynamics during the cell division or phagocytic processes. It uses to visualize the various types of cellular movements such as chromosomal and flagellar movements. It enables to study the cytoskeleton dynamics during the cell division, phagocytosis, etc. It enables to study of membrane permeability of the cell and different cell organelles. This microscope is also extensively used to observe the living cell in the tissue culture to monitor their growth. When the cell are being developed or their cell division is being done under the tissue culture media, that can be monitored with the help of this type of microscopes that can be easily visualized. So these are the applications of the phase contrast microscope. So what are the advantages of the phase contrast microscope? It provides clear image of unstained cell. The cell are not staining of the cells are not required. It avoids the damage of the cell due to the chemical preparation and staining. It is not required. So the cell can be easily studied. It provides high contrast images highlighting the finer details of the cell. The optical construction is relatively simple in case of phase contrast microscope. Any bright field microscope can be converted to the phase contrast microscope by using these two components, that is the phase plate and annular condenser. A compound microscope can be converted to phase contrast microscope with these minor additions. Living cells can be visualized without affecting its normal activity of the cell. It cannot be possible in other types of microscope. Living cell imaging and live process monitoring are possible, and it is very affordable and very low cost. So what are the disadvantages of the phase contrast microscope? The phase contrast microscope produces a bright halo around the image. So whatever the image has been formed, around that a bright hollow regions are found, and the formation of these hollow due to the partial or incomplete separation of the direct and deviated rays. It is only useful for viewing the individual cells or thin layer of cells. So if the layer of cells is thick, it cannot be visualized properly. So thin layer of cells or the individual cell can be easily visualized with the help of these type of microscopes. So these are the websites from I have collected the information. So I am giving these informations in the chat box also, so that you can read it if you need further study.